Well, the Premier League fixtures are out, and it's been a difficult start for Arne Slot. The Liverpool coach, who's just arrived from Feyenoord, will face his old adversary from Ajax, Erik ten Hag, the Man United coach, on the 31st of August. So just 3 games into the season, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Huge game at the best of times, but for two managers, there's a lot to prove. Slot in his first month in the job after succeeding Jurgen Klopp. Big start, has to get a good start under his belt. Erik ten Hag, as we know, was kind of fortunate, many people think, to keep his job after finishing 8th last season. So Slot versus ten Hag, Man United versus Liverpool is the big fixture in the early weeks of the season. Although Man City played Chelsea in the opening of the season, I think that the Liverpool Man United game has a little more resonance to it, in the sense that it is Slot, it is ten Hag, and it's the two biggest clubs in English football. So that is a huge game. And Slot obviously coming in to replace Klopp, it's a big challenge for the Dutchman. He's going to have a tough season at the club because obviously big transition period, Klopp going, people like Van Dijk, Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold with question marks over their future because of their contract situation. And Liverpool also have a really tough run in as well. That the running to the end of the season is a real challenge. So it's going to be a tough season for Slot, but obviously if he gets a win in that first game against Man United on 31st of August, it's a great start. If he loses, not a good start.
It's going to be a massive season ahead for Man City. We've got the 115 charges, which we are hoping or expecting to be addressed sometime in the autumn, with a decision in maybe January, February time. That's one big element of the season. The second big element is that Pep Guardiola is hinting that this may be his last season as a coach. So they've got a chance now to win the 5th successive title, a record. They've already broken the record by winning 4 in a row. Can they win 5 in a row? Can they overcome the situation in the Premier League? Can they send Guardiola off if he leaves with a 5th successive title? Well, the bad news for everybody else is that Man City's running is probably the easiest you could ever imagine. They've got no big 6 side in the last 6 games of the season. Their title running, the last big game they've got is they play Man United with 8 games to go at Old Trafford. After that, they've got Aston Villa in the running, but Aston Villa, as good as they have been under Unai Emery, don't really class as a big 6 side. But again, Villa could be a threat. But apart from Villa, their running is as soft as they would like. And we know that Man City always coast through a running. They've got no big 6 side in the final 6. They end the season away at Fulham. It looks like if Man City haven't been stopped from winning the league by early April, they're going to run away with it, because they have got the easiest running of all the teams challenging for the title. So it's going to be a challenge for everybody to catch Man City. It always is, but when you think about that running, there's no real hurdles in that final month, 6 weeks of the season. So the tip for everybody else is, if you're going to stop Man City, you've got to stop them early. You've got to stop them before they get into their momentum, or they've got to hope that the Premier League deduct them so many points that they can't win the league next season. So can Arsenal finally end their 20-year wait, 21-year wait, it'll be next season, to win the Premier League title? They've gone so close the last 2 seasons, finishing second to Man City. Many people think they were unlucky last season to not win the league, but this time around, 3rd time lucky for Mikel Arteta's side. Well, maybe not. They've got a nightmare start to the season. The first 6 games, they've got Villa away, City away and Tottenham away before the end of that first 6 game period. So that is a really daunting task for Mikel Arteta's side. And they can look at it 2 ways. It's a nightmare start. It gives you a really tough chance to make a good start to the season. Obviously, City away, tough game for Arsenal. They never seem to win at the Etihad. Villa away and Tottenham away could go either way. But the flip side is that they could use that as a way to say, look, we can win these first 6 games of the season, make a real statement, really push on to win the league, but they have to make a good start. Man City have shown in recent years that if you don't make a good start, they pull away. Now, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with Man City this season, the 115 charges. By the time he gets to the running, City could be way off the pace. They may have had a points deduction, but we can't work on that basis. As it stands right now, we have to think that City are going to be a real title challenger. So if Arsenal are to challenge, they have to win 5 of their first 6 games, maybe even 6 of the first 6 games. But when you've got to go to Aston Villa, when you've got to go to Man City, when you've got to Tottenham as well, it's so tough for Mikel Arteta's side. But that's the challenge they face. If they're going to win the league, they have to beat the best. And the people say that you've got to play all 38 games, you've got to play each team twice. It's not as simple as that, it's when you play them. So that first 6 games of the season, a really, really tough start for Arsenal, but they have to use it as a positive. Make a good start, and they are, or will be, the favourites to win the league if they come out of that first 6 games with 5 or 6 wins. Erik ten Hag's look at Man United might finally be changing. They've got a pretty soft start to the season. Now, everyone knows they've got Liverpool, 31st of August, big game, biggest game in English football, whether they're going for the title or not. But other than that, I think United have got a decent start. They start Fulham away on a Friday night before it all starts on the weekend of the 17th and 18th. They play on the 16th. And then, apart from the Liverpool game, and they play Tottenham as well into that first 6 games, the first 6 games of the season are, in my view, a good start for United to make a decent start, get off and running, build some confidence. To play Southampton, to play Palace. It's not the worst possible start, especially when you look at other teams that have got 2 or 3 big teams. I mean, Arsenal have got a really tough start. So for me, Ten Hag can use that start to the season to build some momentum and get going for what is, a really key season for him after one of the worst seasons in United's recent history last year when they finished 8th. The first Manchester derby is on the 14th of December, which obviously that's an acid test of how United have progressed. But Ten Hag is under pressure right from the start of this season. He has to show that Ineos were right to keep him after winning the FA Cup but finishing 8th. But luck is on his side. He's got a decent start to the season. He's got 2 big games, Liverpool and Tottenham, but they're both at home in that first 6 games. So it's a great start. The flip side, if he doesn't start well, the pressure's on straight away, and it could mean that he doesn't even see the autumn. But for me, Erik Ten Hag is a good start to the season at Man United. It means that if United get some momentum, everyone's fit. They've got people like Marcus Rashford, Harry Maguire that haven't gone to the Euros that could come back fresh. Who knows? It might be the turnaround that Erik Ten Hag wanted. It might be the start of something new at Man United. But we've said that before, so let's wait and see.